So my name is Kayleigh Skomorowski, and I live in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Been here for 10 years, and I'm a singer-songwriter, a mom, wife, music educator, and yeah. So I'm kind of not been doing a lot of the performing and that kind of stuff for quite a while. And with the COVID and everything else in my life being put on hold, been working on reactivating kind of that part of my life and jumping back into that. So right now I'm just finishing up my second album, 10-year hiatus since my first one. And it's set to be released on April 7th with a show at the EA Rollins Center.
That's going to be on vinyl, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is. Yeah, we're working to just got a Kickstarter on the go right now, but the goal there is to absolutely to release that album on vinyl, as it should be properly appreciated and experienced.
I like her.
That's pretty bad. Mark sent me the Kickstarter link today too, and I watched the little, like, I guess promo video or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
I'm curious to how much money do you need to raise, because it's still open for till the 15th, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, it's still open for orders. So like the goal I'd put into the Kickstarter was like when you're doing a run of vinyl, it's pretty much 100 and then up to 200 and then 300 in increments of 100. So, and the price difference between doing a small run like 100 vinyl is there's not much of a price difference between 100 and a run of 200. So my goal was to raise enough money to press 200 and eventually sell them all one day. And yeah, so that's where that's at. But the Kickstarter is still open, just to if people find the page or find my music and want to do a pre-order, they want to have that opportunity available to them. So,
but it has successfully been funded.
Yeah.
I saw.
Like, yes, the goal has been reached.
We reached our goal a while ago, so the pressure is off.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
which
exciting.
Is awesome. So that means the vinyl will happen. Yeah.
That's excellent.
I actually see a lot of Kickstarter campaigns, especially for musicians, that completely fail. And I was so excited to see, because I kind of kept eye on the progress, and it started off pretty quickly with 20% in a few days, and I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna go somewhere. And then I saw today that yesterday that it was fully funded, and I was like, yes.
So when did you start the Kickstarter?
Well, it ran for about a month, so like second week of January, I think it was. Yeah.
Freaking rights, and you're already up there. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it is good. And it just let the pressure off, because there was a bit of that kind of looming anxiety of like, of course I want to appreciate my music on vinyl, but I see the reasons, the variety of reasons is for why that's important to me. But if I don't reach the goal, I don't reach the goal. So it was nice once we finally cleared that, because all that's off now, and now we can just move on to getting her done. So
did you have a backup plan if the Kickstarter wouldn't go through?
Cassettes.
Those are cheaper.
Yeah. Well, we had a few conversations, like, well, what if, and because there's a variety of ways you can actually press vinyl. So you can do a lesser quality cut with less time on it. So there was an option to get into some of that, but I just felt like if I'm gonna put that into pressing on vinyl, then I want it to be the best sounding thing it can be. So I'm glad we didn't have to get too far into those conversations.
Yeah, right on. So you sent me I don't know if you want to talk about this, but your husband has a YouTube channel all about vinyl.
Yeah, and actually that's kind of the reason, like, not that I guess it's slightly embarrassing, but not completely embarrassing. But like, as a musician, my dad had vinyl growing up, and I listened to vinyl as a kid. But I didn't really quite get it. That, it wasn't my thing. But when I met my husband, and when I met him, he was, driving a Subaru WRX with like a NoFX sticker on the back, and listening to 90s punk on vinyl and playing classical piano in his spare time. So he was introduced me to things that maybe were new to me at the time. And now it's just, it's a part of how we experience music. And he's actually the one that pressed my first vinyl, or my first album on vinyl, just a handful of copies for himself, to use for his YouTube channel, because he was looking for something he had the rights to. So he had this wife with a record. So he's like, well, can I just press your record and use your music for my YouTube channel? So I said, go for it. But as a result, lots of people that watched his videos were hearing my music. So they were, looking for my music and joining my Bandcamp page and stuff like that. So that's kind of what led into wanting this to be on vinyl, because there are people out there that have followed me kind of through that avenue, and people that appreciate listening to vinyl and consuming their music that way. So it's kind of, it's his fault, I guess I'll say.
Yeah, blame him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And that was like I guess a pat leave project for him when he started it all. And he still kind of checks in there time to time, but most of his work in that was really concentrated on that time when he was at home with our kids. So
Right on.
That, can you guys explain to me what the Bandcamp thing is a little bit more in depth? Is that like a streaming platform? What is that?
Well, it's kind of like a mix between streaming and a little bit of social media. Like, it's mainly streaming, but for an artist, it's easy for anybody to kind of sign up and get your music out there.
It's kind of like, back in the day you had a MySpace page. Bandcamp is kind of similar, but you can also order, like if Kayleigh would have her vinyl on Bandcamp, then people could order the record off her Bandcamp page.
Right. So all your music and your merchandise and everything can be just kind of filtered through the Bandcamp page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then actually today, for those watching live, Bandcamp is I think it's every first Monday of
Friday.
the month.
First Friday.
First Friday of the month. Bandcamp is waiving all the fees. So any sale that you make as an artist on either vinyl or
your merch, I think too, right?
Merch too, yeah. They don't take any profit.
I feel like that. So I should have let out with how much of an idiot I am too. Even though I work for Funky Moose Records, I don't know a whole hell of a lot.
You're learning.
Like the band, I've heard Bandcamp tossed around like in the last little while, but I never really like paid enough attention to it or what it was. And actually today on Instagram, like I saw Tyler Gilbert posted it, so I shared it and I was like, oh well, that's interesting. And even then I didn't do a deeper dive into it, so that's why I'm asking, like, well, what is it exactly? I'm like sharing the post, I don't even know what it is.
You're the kind of guy, promote.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what I'm promoting.
Oh, Tyler posted something, I'm gonna share it. Kind of like the post I sent you today. Sass Music put up that thing and I was like, I just shared it to you.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Kayleigh's like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah. No, it's good. Like, because like it's been 10 years since I did the first album, and at that point in time, streaming wasn't a thing. Facebook was kind of a thing, but my mom wasn't on it. Like, it's
right.
That's all changed so much now. So I feel like a kid in getting taught a lot from those that are a bit more immersed in it. So lots of learning to do for sure.
So are you learning from your students, because you're a teacher, right?
Yeah, I am. This album's also come full circle in that too, because like Joel Rose, who I'm recording with in Prince Albert at Trisonic Sound, he did all the tracking and guitars and bass, and has done some co-producing and stuff. And he was a student of mine. Actually, his high school band was our wedding band back in the day, and my students, and we hired them to play our wedding dance. So that was that was nice for us. And now that I'm coming into something that he's got all this expertise in, so he's often being the teacher in the relationship now, which is kind of special.
That's cool.
Yeah. Shout out to Joel.
Yeah. How long have you been teaching for?
This is my 10th year.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And what do you teach?
Yeah.
Do you teach music or
Yeah,
any?
I do music. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I do like band and choir, and then like general music, where we do like guitar and songwriting and stuff like that.
Cool.
That's freaking deadly. I don't remember my music classes being like that at all. I remember having a music class, but I don't remember really enjoying it. It's not like we were learning how to play instruments or anything like that I can recall.
Well, I remember my music classes because I've always been interested in music, but I remember the music classes as being embarrassing because everybody's watching and you're a teenager. So no, you don't want anyone to watch you.
What instrument were you playing?
Well, that's the nice thing about that class. You were figuring out what you wanted to do. So the teacher, he didn't make you, but he was like, you should try to sing, try to play the drums, try the bass, see if whatever you can pick up. So I tried a little bit of everything, and then I ended up after that going to an actual music school, and I was there to play the keyboard. So of course, first you learn how to play the recorder. And I was like, this is so dumb.
So
I don't want to do this.
But why couldn't you just go into like the keyboard? Would he have had to learn about the recorder first? Just because of like an origins history kind of lesson there, or?
Yeah, well, and so my husband also teaches some classroom music with elementary kids. So he does a lot of recorder, which is why that kind of made me laugh. But it's an accessible entry level experience for students, you know. I know parents don't always appreciate those wonderful instruments going home, but it's, you know, you can almost everybody. Well, Siri thinks I'm talking to her. Almost everybody can make an okay sound on a recorder. So I think it's just about a nice, easy introduction into music.
Yeah.
And some people go really far with it too. Like,
and that's where it went horribly wrong for me, because I wanted to play the keyboard. So I didn't understand why I have this dumb flute in front of me and I couldn't figure it out. And the teacher was a not so very nice person. And he was like, "Oh, you're doing it wrong." I'm like, "Well, okay, what am I supposed to do? I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing it wrong." I'm like,
he doesn't know what
how is that helpful? Yeah, I was making a sound that the recorder wasn't supposed to make or something. I don't know. So then I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing this." So then I quit, and now I'm still regretting it.
Well, you know, if you ever want to go back to recorder, Mark, I'm sure there's some people out there. There's probably a club.
We have a few of them at home because our daughter is into music, and she's going to get piano lessons and singing lessons and stuff like that. So
awesome.
How long have you been playing the piano for?
I think I was like 5 or 6 when my parents put me in lessons. So I don't want to do the math because then it'll delve my age. And I tell my students I'm 21. So
21 and holding. Yeah.
Yeah, 21 forever. It was a good year.
So 15 years.
15 years. Yeah.
Perfect. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I was listening to I listened to all the songs on YouTube. I think it was all the songs. I don't recall the names of them. Like what is it? Maybe Baby, like whatever those tracks were on YouTube. I think there was like not 10 of. Was there 10 of them?
I think there's 9. I think.
Yeah, I kind of just hit play all, and I went through all of them there. Is that are those the tracks that you're pressing on vinyl, or that was the one that your husband had the rights to?
Yeah, that was my 10 years ago album.
Right. So so then the one that you're going to press is all new songs, right?
Yes. Yep.
Cool. And
I love the rendition of True Colors.
Oh yeah.
How come I didn't hear that one?
I don't know. You're not paying attention.
I guess not. I heard all the old stuff. I did not get a chance to listen to any new stuff yet.
That's okay.
I think True Colors wasn't a very new song, was it?
No, I think I did that one in the spring. I think that was when I kind of like recorded for my students in the shutdown that we won't talk about, but um
Yeah, the COVID.
the COVID,
Yeah.
I
the
heard you
thing
say
that's
that earlier. I
destroying
almost,
lives everywhere.
when you said that at the top of the show, I almost started laughing there. The COVID.
Yeah.
It's such a, like, I feel like that's such a rural Saskatchewan thing to say, right? The COVID.
But she's in the big city though.
Well, yeah, but it's Saskatchewan.
Big city. Oh yeah.
Compared to Bellevue, BA is pretty big.
I guess it's all relative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there is one on the YouTube channel there, like a live version I recorded of the song Stay Wild, which is the title track of this album. So there is like a live version of it up on YouTube. But
Right on.
Oh,
So
I didn't see that one.
how long did it, when you started writing new material for the new album, when did you start that? When were you like, okay, like I'm going to do this, and you like put some focus and energy into it? How long ago?
Well, so I finished the first album, and it was right. I was finishing university and taking the teaching gig in PA, and life was crazy. So that whole like promoting that album and actually really doing anything with it or doing any more writing kind of just got like set aside while I tried to like figure out what the hell like 9 to 5 was going to look like. And then everything just got crazy and life got crazy, and I got married and I had a kid, and I hadn't really touched anything. And it was when I was at home on mat leave with my first son, who is like 6 now, that I guess it was the time and the space being at home and not having all that stuff going on that I started a little bit. So I guess, yeah, 6 years ago, a few tracks. And then really in the shutdown, just because so much of my 9 to 5 is like what fills my cup musically, or making music with teenagers all day long, which is a lot more fun than it might sound like. But so yeah, having all that on hold and just needing to like, say what I had to say and stuff.
Fill the void kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, did a lot more writing then. So like it I don't know, probably 60-70% was written since the shutdown, and then the rest was like things that I've been kind of slowly mulling on over the past 6 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I see guitars in the background, but on
Yeah.
YouTube I only see you play piano.
Yeah, I play those things, not usually for humans. So I like to pick it up now and again. I'm just not super proficient in it. I do teach it, mainly at the beginner level at the high school there, but much more kind of proficient. I write more from the piano. Sorry, and I'm doing this because I'm sitting in front of one. I'm not patting a dog. Yeah, so and the black one back there is actually my husband's. He does some piano and guitar too, but yeah, like I play a bit, but usually not by choice.
And the drums, that's just for anger management?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just for my kids, I think early exposure and exploration is important at a young age. So they play in a real kit when they want to play, which I'm sure is blasphemous to a lot of drummers out there, but it is what it is.
You'll need to suck it up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
So yeah.
How did the two of you get in touch together? Like, did you find her, or did you find Mark, or I'm curious.
Well, Joel Rose was actually asking about pressing.
Okay.
And he was wondering where we pressed our record, and where to go, kind of thing. So we got to talk about, well, who's this record for? Are you releasing something? He said, no, it's actually for Kayleigh. Like, who's Kayleigh? So then I started looking up Kayleigh, and I was like, oh, well, maybe we can talk on the podcast a little bit. And then I got in touch with her, and long story short, here we are.
And here we are.
Yeah. So did you decide where you're gonna press it, or not yet?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with standard vinyl in Vancouver. So they were the kind of the best value quote of everything that I looked at, and just working with them and emailing back and forth has been good. So
Yeah. Who was I talking to? Did you talk to a girl, lady, woman?
I've talked to a woman and a man on
Okay.
different occasions. So
I think they are the two actually in charge in Canada, because I'm pretty sure Standard is a broker, so they just get quotes from all the pressing plants that they know of, and then get the best price. So
Yeah.
it totally makes sense that you got the best value there.
Yeah, well, they would do all the filtering and all that kind of stuff
Yeah,
for us.
exactly.
So yeah.
Sweet.
Cool. So when is so the album is coming out April 7th, but I know vinyl is going to take a while. So will you have the record ready by then too, or?
The dream is yes. They're saying 8 to 10 weeks, and things are just getting mixed right now. It's actually the Josh Palmer out of Saskatoon is doing the mixing and mastering.
Okay.
So he's got all the tracks right now and has been kind of sending mixes and stuff. So so long as we're on timeline and get that, off for pressing, I'm hoping if I put in a rush, we can have that ready with the release on the 7th. But if not, it'll be on streaming platforms. The digital downloads will go to everybody that, bought whatever they bought. And then the vinyls will be delivered as soon as they show up.
Right.
Because what were the perks on Kickstarter? I don't remember.
Well, there was like the base entry was just like a digital download. And then there's like t-shirts or an album and digital download. And the one that's actually the most popular is like a 65 all merch package. So it's got like the vinyl, digital download, t-shirt, and then a tote.
Oh.
And so yeah, everybody, regardless of where they're at, it gets a digital download for sure. So everyone will have access to the music on the release day, regardless of, if they did vinyl or not. And then vinyl as soon as they can get it in their hands.
And then a party at Rawlingson Center, right?
With 30 of my closest friends, yep.
Because that's how many you can fit in the Rollins Center right now.
Well, but this will be in April, so maybe a little bit more.
I doubt it.
I know. I'm hoping, but I doubt it too. So.
Well, I think like that thing we're going to tomorrow. There's, I don't quote me on this, but I feel like there's 4 per table and 11 tables. So if they can have 44 people, you would think Rawlingson Center could maybe do a little bit more than 30 people. Because I think the venue we're going to tomorrow is smaller than that, than Rawlingson. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't know if...
I'm not sure how the floor plan is or anything, so I'm assuming that would take in... I
think because the venue we're going to is more open, and the Rawlinson is rows of seats, so they have to block off certain seats.
Well, 6 feet apart or 10 feet or whatever it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is neither.
1,000.
But that makes sense.
I think.
What's that?
I just said 1,000 feet. It feels like these days. But...
no doubt, hey? So freaking, like, you're on Zoom. You should be sitting here at the table with us right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Next album.
So are you planning to do any live shows of some sort?
I'm hoping, like, even with looking at, how many should I order to press, that kind of worried me, just sitting on too much inventory and such. But Joel was like, well, it'll motivate you to get out there and play and stuff like that. And I was actually at the Prince Albert Arts Board did a professional development session thing on Saturday at the Rawlinson. And it was all about, social media and turning your art into business and so forth. But Jeffrey Stryker was he was the keynote. And so I took an opportunity to talk to him because he did a whole huge backyard tour thing this summer. And I can't remember how many shows he did, but it was like an insane amount, just, within guidelines and stuff. So it just got me thinking that I'm kind of hoping that I can set up some stuff like that while we're dealing with all of the restrictions that we're dealing with, just to keep the motivation going, getting the music out there, and just keep active. So
yeah,
for sure.
Tell me more about that art board thing from Saturday.
Oh, it was awesome. Like it was looking very much at, you know, using social media or connecting to your audience, and just ways to kind of take whatever your craft is. Like they're very multidisciplinary, right? There was,
Mhm.
you know, like potters, musicians, artists, bloggers, like all sorts of people. Um,
Yeah, not
yeah.
not that
Not
Potter.
not Josh Potter.
Different Potter.
All right.
And yeah, they just went through some different sessions on ways to get exposure and turn your art into business, basically. So, like Jeffrey was there doing a thing on email lists, and he was the keynote. And then Kiana Wirtz, who's doing the Chesterfest, her and Joel and Julie Watt did the Chesterfest. So she was there talking about kind of how that came to be, and then just the image and branding that she's worked with. And Adriana Boucher from Off the Cuff did a thing on social media, and Karista Mulchik from the center did a thing on websites, and then they had a whole blogging panel of ladies whose names escape me, but they were awesome. They made me want to blog, even though it's not really something I have time for, but they were just so inspiring and passionate about it. So it was good. It was probably the best thing I've done for myself since March 16th of 2020. So it was very well done. So kudos to them.
Right on.
Too bad I missed that. I would have liked to see that.
What'd you do on Saturday? You were helping your friend move.
Oh, right. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
The blank stare.
I told you earlier that I don't even remember what I did yesterday.
I know.
What did I have for breakfast?
Too funny. Yeah. I told Mark I was going to throw him under the bus before we got on the live too, but I'm going to do that right now. So I don't know if you're familiar, but we were doing like a race to 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel.
That's good.
And I think, are we still at 749?
No, we're at 752.
We're 2 ahead of one of the milestones. So I told Mark I was going to throw him under the bus to add some more prizes to the giveaway. So if he's willing to do that live here too. And for those of you watching this episode, like if you guys could like share that clip with the rules and regulations to the race with your friends. I have noticed that the last 60 subscribers, it has been, for lack of a better word, it's been a little bit of a lull, and I really want to get us to 1,000 so we can like pick a winner and get the prize out and everything. So essentially the sooner we can get another couple hundred subscribers on the channel, the sooner we can get the prize or do the draw, right? So if you guys are cool with that. But Mark, what do you got to add to the giveaway prize there now?
So first of all, we're gonna add a Flex Fit Funky Moose Records hat.
It's not red, it's black.
It's black
for the record.
Yeah, for the record. And then we're gonna add a t-shirt with the Funky Moose Records splash design. Plus we're gonna add $100 credit to the site, so the winner can spend $100 on the website on whatever they want,
on music or whatever they want.
Yep.
Cool. So then in total, so that's all this what you just announced. That's the record player.
Yep. And then the Groove Washer record cleaning kit.
Right. Is that it right there? There's one right here. Very cool. So thank you to the subscribers to get us to that third milestone.
Also, thanks to Audio Technica for
the sponsorship, definitely. And then so we've got 250 more to go, you guys, and then we can do the draw for sure.
Yeah.
Now moving on. Enough of that plug.
Yeah. So now this was brought to you by Funky Moose Records.
Yeah. And Audio Technica.
Yeah.
Too good.
So have you, for your previous album, have you done anything live or promotional for that, or was that more of a I released something, here you go?
I did
just for yourself.
I did a release show for that. I think it was in like November of 2010. But that was at Louise in Saskatoon. And actually did a co-release with another musician named Ash Jones. He used to run the open mic at Lydia's on Tuesday nights, and that's where I really kind of like cut my teeth in songwriting all throughout university while I was working on the album and stuff. So we ended up kind of having the release at the same time. So we did the show together.
Lydia's. Who was talking about Lydia's?
I feel like I drank there back in the day.
Oh, probably. But
Where is Lydia's, or was Lydia's? Where is that?
It was on Broadway in Saskatoon, where I guess Prairie Sun Brewery is now. But it was right on the corner of Broadway, and I think that's 11th right there.
we had a guest on the show that played there.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was.
Couldn't me neither. Don't recall.
Anyway.
Did
Were they like my age graphic? Like, were they like 21, or were they
At that time, or
that took me a couple seconds to clue in there. Frick. When you're writing a song, is your go-to like the piano? Do you go to the piano, you just kind of come up with some music at the keys, and then start putting like not a rhythm to it, but like not words to it neither, but like where the words would go? What's that called?
a melody?
The melody. Sorry. Yes.
Wow.
Is that how it's done, or like what's your process? See how much of an idiot I am.
It's all good. It's all good.
Talk about music every week, and I don't even know.
It's all good. The two actually usually kind of come at the same time for me, like both like the words and melody and the piano stuff at the same time. So I guess it kind of, but for the most part, it's like either a thought I've had that day, or something I reflected on, or something that happened. Like sometimes I'm like pissed, like I mean angry, like just to clarify, and or you know, sad or moved or inspired by like whatever it is, and then I'll sit down, and it usually starts with like a little piano idea, and then I start layering the lyrics and melody on top of it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I know we're all over the place with the questions, but what do you enjoy most about teaching kids music?
Oh, I'll warn you before I answer this that I finished graduate studies just last summer on music education. So I could literally probably talk for 7,000 hours about this topic, but I won't. Yeah.
Well,
I think
we can start, and then you just have to come back again, and we'll like do a mini series.
After 3 hours, we'll just go, okay, hang on.
Yeah.
We'll continue.
Anyway. Yeah. For me, it's like as a young person, especially in high school, I really found myself in music, like in band and choir, and then like I started songwriting when I was in high school. So it was a big part of me finding my tribe of people, right? Like the other, freaks and geeks, as I lovingly call all of those artsy types. So to pass that on to other kids is important for me personally, but it's that whole identity piece. Like I think a lot of kids are kind of lost and they don't know why. And maybe some of them are into music, so that's an easy way for them to find other people that have the same interest in them. And some are just kids that are lost and don't really know where to be. So music's it's a good place to. It's a safe space. It's a creative space. It's a soft space. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
go ahead.
I like I said earlier, I remember my music classes being awkward and sometimes don't want to be there, although I love music. And so yeah, I guess is it still awkward, I guess? I don't know, as a teenager, when you're trying to express yourself, is that still a weird thing? Because I noticed that there is a slight culture difference between where I'm from in Holland and here. I have the feeling that kids are, there is bullying, but there's less bullying in schools here than back home. I have the feeling. I don't know.
Well,
I haven't been to
probably a lot different than it was 15 years ago too, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, a few years ago.
That also comes down to like the philosophy of the teacher in the room, right? So if they've worked to create an environment that is about, a safe space, like I say, where kids can take risks, and they've really built that in the room, then I think it helps with that. But just because it's a music class doesn't automatically mean it's going to be a safe space, right? Like you need, like, whoever's, in charge of those kids, or whoever's responsible for creating the atmosphere in that room, really needs to intentionally set it up in a way that's how it is. I don't think it's inherently like that, unfortunately.
Have you, I'm sure you have, but written songs with your students like from scratch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're usually like in my grade 10 music class, we usually do at least, one or two group writes, and they're usually about, because I do is like an introduction to songwriting thing, and most of those kids, like 98% of them, have never even like fathomed that they could write a song before. So we've written songs about like chocolate milk. We've written songs about Wednesdays. Like it's just like a, getting them into it, and stuff like that, and then pushing them a little bit further, kind of then individually on that to explore it. But yeah, we've done some songwriting.
Is that an exciting, or is that the exciting part about your job? Because that, to me, I don't know, it would be so cool to see a kid come up with a story
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden turn that kind of into a song.
Yeah, I think like the way things are set up in my program, there's like kind of two very different streams of music with kids, right? There's kind of the band and choir stream, which is more about like the, working together to create something, and the community aspect, as opposed to like just what you express as an individual. So I really like the team feel of that. But on the other side, when it comes to dealing with, teaching kids to play a few chords and write a few songs, with what some kids can do with it, when they experience that for the first time, and even just, I think, trying something that you thought you couldn't do before, and then finding out that it's really not that hard, it's definitely special. And some kids take that and roll with it, and I see them years later on Spotify or whatever, and it's like, cool, like you took that seed, and you watered it, and you grew it into your own tree, and now you get to reap the fruit. So it's
Right.
it's neat to
And
see
all
where
of
they take it.
I wonder,
and all of a sudden they're producing your record.
I wonder if, was Brendan Baker ever one of your students?
No, that's
No. Do you know who that is even?
No, I'm sorry.
No. Oh, okay. He was a musician who went to school in Prince Albert,
Oh, okay.
and he's a little bit younger than us. So I was just curious if he would have been in your class.
Only slightly.
And also, I was just trying to remember too. I remember in high school, there was a musician. He came to our school and he wrote a song with each one of the high school classes. And then what we ended up doing was like he did a like grade 7, or I think might have started at grade 8. I don't know, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or 7 to 12, 6 to 12, whatever it was. And then we ended up doing like, do you remember like not talent shows, but there was like, instead of doing a play or something, like the whole town would go to the school, and then there'd be, what do you call those? Frick, I'm dumb. It's not a talent show because it was orchestrated as each class was then doing the song that they wrote with this gentleman. I can't remember the guy's name at all, but I remember doing that. That was awesome, being able to create a song from nothing. And we were taught how to do that as a classroom. It's pretty awesome.
There used to be in St. Louis that the gala.
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about? Or?
No, that was a different thing.
Oh.
It's like not a Christmas concert, but it's basically it's same kind of concept. It's just not Christmassy, right? But yeah, I remember doing that. That was pretty rad. We had a song called, well, wait, what the hell? Oh, frick. I don't remember the name of my song now, talking about it. I remember there was one about like horse done hockey and something chasing bingo or something was one of the names of the songs. They were pretty awesome though. Yeah, and we had the town plumber named in ours. His name was Omerdo. And there was like a whole the whole peak of the song was somebody had flooded their toilet, and then we had to call Omerdo to come out. And then we did. Yeah, it was freaking stupid. Good times back in school. Oh my God. Bannock Panic. That was the name of the song. It was called Bannock Panic. And it was like, man,
Bannock.
that's rough.
Bannock because St. Louis.
Yep. Bannock Panic. Sure is tough. Can't get enough. I don't know. I don't remember how it goes, but I remember that being a big thing because we had a whole night of it, right?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
I thought the guy's name was Don Bernstein or something, but I just Googled him and that was a comedian. So it wasn't him. Yeah, no. But anyways, I remember that. Kind of the same concept, but yeah, that story went nowhere. But it was fun. Good memory. Memory lane.
I'm trying to remember because we did some sort of talent type show, but it's all a little blurry. I just remember I was supposed to play bass and I ended up with an acoustic guitar and I didn't know what to do with it.
Just strummed the one chord.
I guess. I don't know.
The top chord.
I don't remember.
You didn't slap the bass?
Big time.
Big time.
You didn't have your recorder in your back pocket, Mark.
That was actually was that before or after? I should have had my recorder. I could have busted out some moves.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is your son
Variety Night. Thanks, Janelle.
Oh.
That's
right.
Exactly what it's called. Variety Night. Man, I'm an idiot.
Okay. Stop saying that.
People are gonna think that I'm a legit idiot, right?
You're gonna believe yourself.
Yeah.
Is your son interested in music at all?
Me or her?
Both.
He's looking at me. I didn't.
The question was actually for you, Joel, but I want hers too. But she's been, yeah.
Well, my little dude, I tried. When he might have been too young. I don't know, 2-3 years old. We had a little drum set, and he would kind of beat around on him a little bit, and he had like a little play guitar and stuff. But I didn't want to push it on him as much as I want him to play music. It just doesn't seem like he's interested in it at this time. I'm not going to force him to do it. Like, the scary thing is he likes, the electronics, like playing on his phone or watching TV or whatever. And I feel like he might be doing that a little bit too much right now. But on the other hand, I'm thinking like, it's not like it was 15 years ago. Right. Like that's just kind of the times that we're in right now too. And my son, he'll be 6 years old at the end of the month. And for as too much as I think that he's like on the phone watching YouTube or whatever, playing games, whatever it is, like he's doing good. He's not behind in anything, he's a smart kid, definitely. So I can't complain about it. And then, like I said, I don't want to push music on him. I'm hoping that he comes into it. He does sing all the time. He's singing. He'll make up songs and, we'll hear him in his room singing. And I'm just like, yes, I got him into like the music that I like, which is rad. He's always asking for Pantera or Metallica. And I'm like, yes, just loving it. Dad, play Master. It's like, you bet, buddy. So, yeah. But as for like instruments, like, I don't think he's quite there yet. How about you?
My, my 6-year-old's in piano lessons, which are virtual right now, but he's adapting pretty well to that. And he likes that. Most days it's not like a fight to him for him to practice. And they have, we have lots of little type percussion instruments and stuff like that around the house. And the boys always, whenever like Brock and I will play stuff, like he'll pull out a songbook and I'll sing and he'll play, or we'll just pick up stuff to play, and the boys always want to get in on it. So someone will usually come upstairs with a recorder, even though they can't play yet. So it's just like the one note, and or the shaker or whatever it is. So they always want to kind of jump in on it, which is great. But I think a big part of that with both of them is, prior to COVID, my husband and I used to do music ministry at our church on Sundays. And we would bring the boys up there with us. And so they would play instruments and do all sorts of stuff, which I know is quite entertaining for the congregation, because they're 4 and 6. But yeah, so they had that, just kind of doing it with us. So it's like same thing. I totally get what you're saying, Joel. It's like I don't want to push it. And even as they go forward, you know, as like a band choir person, it's like I'd love them to explore those avenues as well. But you know, only if they kind of gravitate towards it naturally.
Right. Yeah, I feel the same about sports too, to be honest. Like, as much as I want my kid to play any kind of sport, he just really doesn't seem that interested in it. So I don't want to be the parent dragging him to soccer practice or hockey practice or whatever. If I want him to be able to tell me that that's what he wants to try and that he wants, and I'll back him up 100%.
Yeah.
Even if it's something I'm not interested in, like, that's his life, right? And all I can do is support him, right? But like I said, I feel like he's on his phone a little too damn much. But saying that, he might be some tech guy, tech god, and
maybe he'll be a professional gamer, or
right,
maybe an electronic DJ or whatever.
Yeah, he'll be the next Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, settle down.
In jail, I mean.
We just put the bar like.
Yeah, no, my 10-year-old. So she's having piano lessons right now. She started piano lessons earlier. That was part of the school program, and she enjoyed it. But it was the practicing at home that usually lacked. And now she has a new teacher, and that's all virtual. So she's back to being excited about that. And so we have one of those portable pianos along with the stand-up piano. But the electronic piano, my almost 3-year-old son is very interested in that too. He just sits there and he just finds all the sounds and he's pushing all the buttons and then holds the most annoying one as long as he can until we say, okay, that's enough now. But he's always on there, and he's going to be 3 in 2 weeks. So that might be a little early to determine if he wants to play piano or not, but you know, it's a step in the right direction, I guess. Yeah.
Maybe he'll be a DJ.
Yeah, who knows? He's watching what his big sister is doing, so
right.
As long as she keeps doing what she's doing, then
awesome. I think what's really cool is the keyboards now, like an easy way to learn that just spit it out, Joel, is the keys light up, like to learn a song, as opposed to actually reading notes on a page, right? Do you notice that, like, being somebody who teaches it, like, are you teaching them the notes on the page, or is it simpler for them to learn like a Guitar Hero kind of way? Are they obligated to? Well, not obligated. I understand how important it is to be able to read the notes on a page as a musician, for sure. But as a teacher, someone who's teaching it, do the students gravitate to it the easier way, I guess, is what I'm trying to say?
So I think, like, it depends on where they're at in their kind of musical journey, right? Because like, I think one of the biggest mistakes, and there are music teachers out there that will probably start trolling me for saying this, but that's okay. I'll take one for the team. One of the big mistakes we make, I think, is getting kids onto printed music too soon, right? And one of the philosophies I subscribe to is that idea of sound before sight, right? So when you think of how you learn to talk, we talk before we read, right? We don't like stick a book in front of a kid who can't speak and say, like, read this book. But lots of times when we approach music instruction, we do it that way, right? Like, we put the book in front, even though they don't have the language to speak yet, and we say, well, we'll read. So I think as an introduction to music, when you're first learning it for the first time or being exposed, that it's important to take away the reading, like just to make music and learn how to speak music and learn how to feel music, and then learn how to read music.
That makes
Yeah, it just depends on where they're at in their journey. But I that's one thought that I have, and
Right.
I know that there are others that teach and make a living off it that would very much disagree with me. But that's where I sit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I think those things are cool, like the keyboards that light up when show you how to play.
The keyboard that my daughter has actually has a little LCD screen on there, and it shows which finger you're supposed to be using.
Well, that's almost like the Guitar Hero theory,
yeah, almost,
right?
yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I remember I had a music lesson or a guitar lesson from I don't know, maybe you know him, Byron. Byron.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Matisse. Yeah.
Matthijs,
Yes.
Matthijs, yeah. He tried to teach me guitar for a while, and
And you're a terrible student.
let's yeah. Anyway,
My fingers hurt.
no, that's not what it was.
Yeah,
It
right.
was just me not practicing when I was home. So the only practice I got was when I was at his place, trying to wrap my head around a song.
That was so funny when you started that. Didn't you like go there with like some Eric Clapton music?
Yeah.
You're like, I want to learn this.
Well, that was my end goal. But he was like, "Yeah, we can do that." And and then he was like, "Okay, you do this and this and this and this string, that. And it's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Do we have simpler songs?" But for him too, because he is mostly self-taught
Mhm.
way back. I mean, he learned the notes after, but he still doesn't use notes
Right.
to teach. He just shows you which notes, which string to hit.
So when you write a song, do you, because you're a piano player, do you go back and I just visualize piano players going back and like drawing out all the notes on all the pages to their songs. Do you do that?
Oh God, no.
No. Do you
No,
know people
I write
that
out.
do that? That was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it depends on the person. Like when I look, like, for example, going back to like Jeffrey Stricker, if you were to take what you've written for yourself and go and like try and do it with the Regina Symphony, then you're gonna have to transcribe it all out so that those musicians can play something.
Play it.
But
Right.
I'm making a huge assumption, but I think for most people, like, like charts for me look the same as they would if I was playing, bass or guitar. Like I write and think through music more so in chording and stuff like that, as opposed to like note by note, just because that's how I was taught to. So yeah, no, I don't write it out. I have like words and letters, and that's it.
Right.
And even then I forget them most of the time. So
Right on.
Shout out to Sarah and Jae-Jun.
oh, yay. Yes, those are former students.
Oh, there you go.
That's awesome.
They're watching.
They are watching. Good for them. I can't even say like I'll give them bonus marks because they're in university
Yeah,
now, and I can't control that. So
They were the best students ever, weren't they?
oh yeah, for sure, hands
For
down.
sure. You know, I had this one an older teacher, and every time I would run into them after I was finished, I graduated, and we would talk about when she used to teach me grade 5, I think it was. And she would always tell me that I was her favorite student, and it used to make me feel so good. And then that went on for years and years, and then I realized that she said that to everybody, and then I didn't feel so special. But yeah, she pulled one over me.
Oh,
for
Joel,
sure.
you are special.
I am special. I was her favorite. That's how that went down.
I think the goal is to make every kid feel that way, even if you don't say it. I think as long as they all walk away feeling like they were the favorite.
Right. I was an adult, and she was making me feel that way.
That's
How old
good.
are you now? 30?
Yeah.
Oh, you're
I'm
still
21.
my favorite. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have any famous students?
What do you mean by famous?
As in kids that you taught that now have a music career? Well, I mean, they don't have to be famous, but that actually went into music
That
and have
pursued it.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I have a few kids that have gone into like music education. So there's a few like studying music that way to be music teachers. One of my coworkers I work with right now was a former music student of mine. And I don't know, do you know like Natalie Parent and her band, The National? She went to Grant McEwen in Edmonton. They got a bunch of money from the government. I don't remember what grant it was, but I've got a few that have gone different places like that, and Natalie's one that comes to mind in this realm of recording and writing music for sure.
Cool.
And of course
Yeah.
Joel.
And
Yes,
Joel.
Joel. Well, yes, that's a given for sure. Yeah.
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 Not everybody organizes a music festival without music background.
No, no, no.
You know,
And I think
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Joel's always a dreamer, and it still is a dreamer. But it blows my mind. Like there's all sorts of kids and people, and like whether they're kids or people over 21, that have these dreams, right? And it's like, oh, I'm gonna do this one day. I'm gonna do this one day, and you're like, yeah, okay, like. And he was a kid that's like, oh, I'm gonna do a festival one day, and you're like, yeah, okay. And then it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. You did that. You did. Good job.
Yeah, and he's with Kayana, and I was talking to Kayana about that, and she's like, yeah, he's always the one with the big ideas, and I always have to reel him in a little bit. But
for sure. I'd say like this album was just as much his idea as mine. Like he's been bugging me every time I would go, do Festive Magic or something or whatever at the Rollinson, and I'd play an original song at something, and he'd be like, so like when's the next album coming out? And I was always like, I'm way too busy. So he's been poking that bear for a while. So yeah, it's his fault.
That's good though. Like we need people like that.
Joel keeps bugging me too, like in business. When we're doing, something for bands, Joel's always on my behind to get things done.
Mark, I always give him a hard time because I always tell him how he has a wall built, like he's his own worst enemy, right? Like, and I'm that guy, like, shoot for the stars and you'll reach the moon, right? I feel like that's more my motto. Cause I can't fail if I don't try, kind of thing. And I'm not scared to fail. Whereas Mark is like too analytical and is like, oh, well, no, if we do this, then X, Y, Z. And it's like, that frustrates the hell out of me. Cause I'm like, you don't know that. Like you cannot predict the future. And if you don't attempt, like it's just not going to happen. And the time is now, like not next week, not next month. If you say you're going to do something, like get the ball rolling, pardon my French, but shit or get off the pot, right? Like, let's get her done. Let's do this. And then he's always got that wall in front of him. Well, I don't know. I got to think about it for like 10 days. And it's like, well, it's too late. Then don't even bother because like if you're going to do it, you got to do it now.
So we usually meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah. It's kind of how that goes, but yeah.
That's a good relationship.
It's all right.
Yeah.
For now.
Both still undecided.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, we've been doing this for a year without too many arguments. Well, I mean, we always argue, but
yeah,
not seriously.
That's key there too, is if people who don't know us that might see us arguing will think that we're being serious, but realistically we're just sarcastic with each other, and we know each other well enough where we're like we're just goofing, right? But the joke is that other people don't know that. Yeah. That's what makes us laugh about it. But yeah,
we got to be careful with that, I think.
Nah. I'm not into what other people think about me at all. I could really care less. I always bug Janelle about that saying too. I always say, it's not that what is it? Janelle, if you're watching, what is it that I say?
Oh boy, watch the comments.
Yeah. Something about, it's not that I don't care, but it's that I couldn't care less or something like that.
You don't even know what you say?
No, because there's a few more swear words in it when I say the actual expression. But...
Janelle, don't swear in the comments.
But yeah, no, it's all good.
Yeah, this is episode 51. So next episode would be the
Oh yeah,
last
1 year, I
last
suppose.
of the year, I guess.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you guys kind of started in, like you started after the shutdown or kind of just before things hit the fan?
Right before.
Right before.
Right before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we had, well, we didn't really have a plan or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, we like talking about music, so let's do something. And then, because we're
It
always
was-
talking about music.
Yeah, it was literally, well, let's turn a camera on. Like I'm big into I watch the goofiest podcasts like on a weekly basis. There's like 5 or 6 of them that I'm like an avid watcher to.
And I'm so much not a fan, but anyway.
Anyways, but essentially that's really, I mean, there's more production to it than this for sure. But essentially it's like, why don't we just flip a camera on and see what happens? Like we're not big into doing any kind of work at all. So like there's not really any editing, right? Because that brings it down to
Okay.
work. And we always said if
Let
it
me-
turns into a job, we're not going to do it.
Let me
right?
clarify that. It's not like we don't like working. This thing started as a kind of a hobby side thing, and I didn't want to I didn't want it to take over from
The business.
the actual job that I was doing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, carry on.
Well, that's about it. So
Oh.
it's really just like flipping the camera on. So I don't know, the first 14 episodes or so is like us trying to figure anything out. Like, what is this? What are we doing? Like we were Googling what was in music news that week. And we not a segment. We actually tried doing that a couple episodes,
That's
segments and stuff. And when it started getting like too planned and structured, it was like really annoying. And I don't think either one of us wanted to do it. And it was like, screw it. You know what? We'll turn the camera on, hit record. And if people tune in, great. If they don't, I could care less. Not that I couldn't care, but that I couldn't care less. Right.
Or something.
So yeah, it was, that's kind of how it all started.
And
Yeah.
then we an artist, Bears Pick, from Yukon, reached out to us and said, "Hey, I enjoy your show. Can I be on it?" So Joel and I were like, "Sure. We'll have to figure out how we do this, but sure." And that was, I think, also one of the first.
She was the first guest
Yeah.
that we had.
But no, I was gonna say there was one of the first episodes during the lockdown or during the pandemic thing, but we did a few before that
Before the lockdown.
before that episode.
Yeah. So yeah, it just kind of
Yeah.
evolved into what it is. Like now we've got guests well booked into March, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the start, what sucked is like we were even debating if we would have a guest on every 2 weeks because it's not easy to book people in, right? And then that becomes work again, having to reach out to people and do all that. But we're fortunate enough where some people are coming to us, which is great. I'm all for it. And it makes the show easier because like, I feel like it's more engaging instead of just hearing us talk about stuff that we don't know about. And the way, right. And the way it evolved is like, if we can help promote somebody, like that's essentially what this platform is for.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not biased. We don't care if you're any style of music you are, if you're especially Canadian and indie, like hit us up and like, let's just hang out. It doesn't even have to be about the music. Like even if you just want to talk, if you came on and we talked about sports, like that'd be totally okay.
My jam, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like
Okay, next episode, all about sports.
Yeah. Like, and that's kind of what it's evolved into now. Like, it's great that we're talking about music and promoting the industry and music and everything. But what I feel the concept of the show kind of is like getting to know like who you really are, right? Like, who are you when you're not performing or creating or writing music? Like, I just want to know who you are and what your likes and interests are. And we're not interviewers, as you can plainly see, right? Like, it's like, come and hang out with us for a Friday.
Every time you say that, I'm like, but we're practicing. But then I'm like, no, we're not.
No, like I'll be dead honest. Even for future shows, like people that are coming on, my Research is like what I did today. I went to YouTube, I hit play all, there's my research for the day. And if I do it 2 days ago or yesterday, like I might have a couple notes on it, but basically the day we're recording is when I'm listening to it.
The idea is kind of to have a meeting with someone you haven't met yet. You sit down at a bar or restaurant or whatever, and you sit there and talk for an hour.
Yeah.
This is basically what we do without the food and actually sitting.
Well,
in the
not
bar.
yet. Yeah. Hopefully in the future it's still got lots of potential and room to evolve into something different.
That just gave me an idea.
Like Mark's supposed to build another studio here that was supposed to. I got to get on his case a little bit more.
Price of lumber is stupid right now.
Yeah. See, there's always something. There's that wall again. There's that wall again.
It's true though.
You start with the foundation. You don't need the lumber for the foundation. You need cement.
Yeah. Okay.
You got pour concrete.
Where's it going to go though? On that side? Or
You
that
know,
side?
you know exactly where it's going.
I
That
know.
part of it has been established.
How big is it going to
already.
be? Do you know? Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, the nice thing about the digital platform though is like you could talk to anybody anywhere.
Yeah.
You know,
For sure.
And I think that we're going to be doing this even though all the lockdowns are gone. You know, this whole coronavirus thing is gone.
Mhm.
We'll still be doing this, but we'll try to get more people in house because that's more fun.
Like
And
I
then-
think like the Saskatchewan artists, I think it'll be easier for us to get in house. Definitely.
Yeah.
We have had guests on from like Toronto, you know, like obviously we're not going to get somebody for Toronto to fly out to Bellevue, Saskatchewan for a Friday night. Like,
No, but
it's not
unless
going to
they're-
happen.
Unless they're already touring around here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
I want to do something like that too. Like when music starts going again, like I want Funky Moose to be like backstage and flip a camera on and like, let's get, I don't know about turning a camera on,
Then it starts turning into interviews.
but then you can edit that all. We could edit that after.
See, this is Joel dreaming. And I'm like,
It wouldn't have to be an interview. It would be just like
maybe
what's
it's-
going
hey,
on
maybe
behind
it's
stage.
in the name. Joel Rose is always the dreamer. Joel is always the dreamer.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Be fun.
But
stuff.
yeah, it would be cooler if you would be sitting here, and if you have even if it's a digital piano or something, you can
Mhm.
bust out a song.
Well, I do, and I'm hooked up. If you wanted one,
Sure. I don't know how the quality on Zoom
with
is going to
that,
be.
if you're hooked up, yeah.
Yeah.
we'll see. Like we did some troubleshooting, so I'll just make sure that like if you can't hear the piano, then we'll say no. But if it comes through, then we can give it a shot.
Okay.
But
Oh, that'd be good.
can you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's if you're down, I'll
Yeah.
be your cocktail entertainment.
Yes. Yes. Rock and roll. I like it.
I think I'm gonna do something off the first album though. Is that
100%.
is that okay? Or you're like, I don't care. This is all new to me. So whatever you do, you do.
We had, I believe it was Emma Jean. She was in her hotel room
Yeah.
and she had her guitar and she was like, she was playing, but it got too loud. And then the Zoom quality kind of made it a little bit choppy. And then I think the neighbors in the hotel started yelling at her or something. So she had to like stop.
Because she was in a hotel in Ontario somewhere. So there was a time difference. So for her, it was like between
Super
11 and midnight or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, and
That was-
so I think that was, Brendan Baker.
Brandon did too.
He rocked out on the guitar a little bit. And I
Yeah.
think those are the only two, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
But yeah, this is
Yeah.
like, I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah.
You do your thing.
Oh, so good. We'll give it a go, and if it starts to fall apart, then we'll just forget it ever happened.
Right. We
We'll
can
cut it
cut
out.
it.
Sounds good. This it's from the first album. It's a tune called "Bottle of Wine," and I think it's speaks for itself. But yeah.
Let the phone ring a few more dozen times. The sun won't rise for at least another
Sweet. I'm curious if you tally it all up, how many bottles of wine were drank in that song. That's sweet.
Probably
I like
my
very
favorite-
good. Yeah, I think it sounded really good there. I don't know. There was a couple like small little cutouts, obviously, right, for Zoom.
Yeah.
But I think I'm
Yep.
pretty sure that's going to turn out really good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
My favorite memory of that tune was so I worked at Buds on Broadway in university, which is an interesting place. But I we did a Wednesday night gig there, which when I worked there, now and again they would throw me gigs basically when they needed an opener or like were strapped for something. So they had us booked for like a Wednesday night, and the Tragically Hip was actually playing in town that night at like downtown, and it was around 10:30, 11 o'clock, and Buds just like all these people came in that were coming from the Hip show, and they were all, you know, half cut, ready to go, and they wanted more music, and they wanted to party, and they wanted to dance, and so it was a pretty quiet night for the most part. But pulled that song out, and we had like very inebriated, very happy strangers just singing along to Bottle of Wine. So
Right on.
That's awesome.
definitely one of my favorite memories of that tune.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So how many shows how many times did you open or play at Buds?
I think three.
Okay.
3 different times. I
Was
opened up for
Was that with a band or just you?
it was usually with the band. There was one I did an opening just me. It was Matt Anderson was playing, and I think that was a last minute decision from management, but it was a nice gig for me, and I got to meet him, which was nice. And then there was a Wednesday show with the band, and then there was another show with the band. So
Do we have comments?
Yeah, we got a couple. Sarah says always loves hearing that tune. And what was that, Jay? Kim. I think the name is Kim. Is gonna have a glass of wine now. So that's pretty cool.
awesome. Good.
Inspiring.
Inspiring. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Do you
Cool.
remember writing that song?
Yes and no. Like I remember where I was and what I was going through, but I don't really remember kind of putting the pieces together.
Right.
But that was the beauty with Lydia's in the open stage, because I'd be working on stuff and I'd kind of have something, and then on a Tuesday night I would go and get to play it for people and then play it with people. So as I was writing, it was never like just kind of holding them into myself. Like I was constantly being able to share them with other musicians and stuff like that. So it was
And then you get feedback too from
yeah,
an audience
for sure.
and other musicians. Yeah.
How long has it been since you've been able to play in front of like an actual crowd? Like and I'm not counting your students or anything, but like a legit crowd. How long has that been?
Of just my husband and I have done the odd like little gig where we do cover tunes, right? But as far as like a Kayleigh Skomorowski all my music show, it might have been the release. Like I've done a few little things here and there, like I'm usually instigated by Joel, like, come and open up for this thing or come and play this thing. And it's usually some little like 20-minute set. Like I played at Rock Trout once or twice for some gigs where, opening up for Almighty Voice or whatever the heck Joel had on the go at the time. And then was supposed to do Chesterfest before that didn't happen. So, but yeah, no, it's been a while.
Is Joel talking about is he going to bring that back again?
Yeah. There's a date.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's got a date?
Yeah.
I
They have
think it's-
dates booked for this summer, but I think they're kind of like optimistic dates. I think they're kind of
tentative ones, maybe, right?
Yeah, they're not putting too much hopes.
Right.
Yeah, because they haven't been promoting it or anything yet. It was
No.
more like there's a date on the website, and I think that's where it stopped for now.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. I almost want to camp there this time.
Yeah.
I think
You
that's
can this year.
I think
or
that's what's
next
going
year,
to happen.
whenever it is.
It was so much fun. It was pretty rad. Actually, you're wearing. Check it out. We got Harlequin's autograph that night
Sweet.
on the sweater. We didn't have anything for them to sign, so
Yeah. Hey, Mark, you need your sweater for what? Signatures. Okay. And then we got to drive him back to the hotel.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Interesting. Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Right on. What time do we got here?
20 after 9.
Do we want to go another? Do we want to go till 10?
Do you wanna play another song?
Yeah, I could play another song. Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you're down and you want to listen to it.
Yep.
And I got
I'll-
you. I'll do it.
You can play the whole album for the rest of the night. You give her shit.
You should play from the new album.
Yeah. I'll do something from the new album.
Yeah.
Just trying to think of which one.
How about the title track?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. My problem is, do I?
Do I remember the words?
Like I got the words. Do I remember the chords? Yeah, okay, I got it.
I believe so. It's okay. No one really knows if I change it halfway through.
And you know what? And even if you were to stop midway point, the only people that would know is the people on the watching live and us, and we can cut that out for Monday's episode too. So
Yeah.
if you wanted us to, we can do that. Call it an exclusive.
And
All good.
sell it.
Yeah. Okay. So this tune is "Stay Wild," the title track. Yeah. Okay.
Where this river runs, I don't know. The wind whispers, come, so we go. There's a stillness in her breath, it feels like home. I had forgotten all of this, let my heart roam. Setting sun, melting on the water. Your head on my heart, hand in your brother's. The silence breaks, and all the world's a song. These colors too will fade to return with the dawn. Breathe in, breathe out, run free, fall down. Something rustles in the leaves. We glide. Breathe in. Breathe out. Run free. Fall down. Stay wild, my heart. Stay. Breathe in. Breathe out. Run free. Fall down. Stay wild, my heart. Stay wild, my heart. Stay.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people we had some comments.
Yeah. Sarah again is liking the sneak peek. She's pretty excited. And Kayleigh Carr, I hope I said that right. Just can't wait to have the whole album.
Yeah, sweet.
Very cool. Yeah, I thank you for
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, no problem.
It actually
Well,
sounds. It doesn't sound that bad. Like, I mean, for like Zoom quality, right?
Yeah.
I don't mean like, yeah, it didn't sound that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what I mean, right? Like
I
for
know what
being
you mean.
through Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's yeah. I do a lot of my teaching this way. So I've done a lot of trial and error through even just figuring out how do I play piano and sing to my kids on online teaching. So yeah.
Right. No doubt. Do you have, are you on your phone or a laptop right now?
Right now I'm on a laptop.
On the laptop. And then you just have that on the piano, obviously, right?
Yes. Yeah, like I have an interface connected to the laptop. So I got the mic and the piano running through the interface.
Cool.
Yeah, you lost when you said interface.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. A little box. There's a little box that I plug things into,
Like
and
a
that
little-
little box has a
What
line.
was I calling that the one day? I called it to Brendan something. I don't know. Yeah, you lost it. It's all good.
It's all good. It's magic.
That's right.
Yeah.
See, I don't need to know those kinds of things, right? That's why it's like
You're not a musician.
I'm looking at the stars, right? So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It sounded good. I like it.
That's
When
good
we
to hear.
when we record this, he shows up and he's complaining to me like, "Why aren't we live yet?"
Yeah.
Because I'm plugging stuff in and it's not working.
See, in my head,
Well, we're late.
yeah,
I know.
was thinking the live, like, so people could see him getting all that stuff set up. So I'm
But
like,
if it
we should
doesn't
be
work,
live
they
right
can't
now.
see anything anyway.
I'm such in another world, man. It's not even. It's really not that funny. It's scary.
Sometimes, yeah. But it helps other
I'm
people think out
productive.
of
I'm
outside the box.
definitely productive, for sure.
You're productive.
I think so. Am I not? My boss telling me I'm not productive over here.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna throw you under the bus, but we're live, so
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Too funny. Yeah, that was pretty dope.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll obviously like with the band on the recording, it will have all that will have a bit of a different feel to it, but
Yeah. So the Kickstarter video that you did has this song,
mhm.
right?
The
Or did
Kickstarter has another tune called Little Eyes, like in the background of it. But I think I have this song posted, like a YouTube link to this song posted on the bottom of the Kickstarter page.
Okay.
You do, and it's
Okay.
you with all the tea light candles
Yeah.
Yes.
on
Yeah.
the piano, right? Because when you were
Yeah.
playing it, I was like, how did I hear this? If I listened to the old album, I was thinking,
Yeah.
but yeah, that makes sense
Right.
for sure.
So I assume that the album is not just you and piano then, because you just said band.
Yeah, it's full band for pretty much everything except like there's one tune that I did just like a lot of vocal and piano on, but 9 out of 10 tracks are drums, guitars, bass, piano.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. I'm hoping if the stars align and everything works out, to have a single or two released on Spotify a little bit earlier than the 7th, so people will get a little bit of a taste of.
Sneak peek.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very cool.
Yeah.
I want one of those vinyls when they come out. Chalk me up for one for sure.
Yeah.
I'll take one.
Well, I'll have
Actually, my idea is to have a few of them here so I can sell them for you.
yeah, I like that.
I have to shotgun mine too, because they're gonna sell like hotcakes.
Well, we'll see. I know my great grandparents aren't on the Kickstarter yet, so I'll hit them up. But I feel like every other person I've ever met or been related to, I've already harassed.
Yeah. Why didn't you pay me yet?
But I don't have a record player. Well, this gives you an excuse to go buy one.
Tell
Hang it
them,
on the wall.
tell them to
Yeah.
come to our channel, like and subscribe, and they're in the draw for a brand new one.
Yeah.
I will get on that with my great grandpa for sure.
There are actually people that don't have a turntable and buy records just because of the artwork, and maybe
Yes.
I'll eventually get a turntable.
I got a pretty solid collection going there. I don't have a turntable at home. I think I've got like 400 records at home now.
Oh, this again.
Nothing
Yeah.
to play them on.
And exactly. I ended up with a free one a couple years ago, and that just ended up getting burnt.
Oh, I
It
think
was
they,
pretty.
Yeah,
It was pretty. It didn't work properly.
I turned, but that was about it.
It was like seriously like a 70s retro coffee table one. And I was like,
Yeah.
sweet, I got it for free. So I lugged it home and it didn't work. Then it sat outside for a winter. And then we finally got rid of it.
Yeah. Mark, can we
Yeah.
fix this? Well,
Because I'm
Good.
too cheap. I'm too cheap to buy one. So I
So-
entered the draw.
you're excluded from the draw.
I know. I promise I'm not going to win. He gives me a dirty
my
look.
husband's been through a few. My
Yeah.
husband's been through a few turntables, but like the one we have right now, I was on campus. I think I was doing like an honor band thing, but there was someone had put a note up on like the Students Union bulletin board, and it was something very simple, but it was like, I have an entire record collection that I'd like to offload onto someone who appreciates music. So, and that was like all that was there, and he listed some of the like classical composers that were on the list. So I sent a picture to my husband because we were like in town. This was a few summers ago. And I said, let's call this guy up. Like, let's see what he means by his whole collection that he wants to gift to somebody else. Like maybe there's something good there. So we go to this stranger's house thinking like, well, at least there's the two of us. So if both of us go missing, like someone will come looking for us. But he was a professor at the university. And so he invites us in. We go up to look at his collection, and he starts telling us all of the stories of each album, and then finds out that, like we have quite a bit of a collection, and my husband, has done a little bit of work with turntables and stuff. We ended up walking out of there with boxes and boxes of vinyl. And then he gave Brock his turntable as we left. He was like, well, if you're taking my records,
Might as well take the turntable.
you may as well take the turntable too. And Brock brought it home, and he was like, this thing was like top of the line when this guy bought it, presumably in like, I don't know, the 70s, but it's like, it's high end. Like it's the
Right.
nicest thing. And, my husband's been through a few or whatever, but so I don't remember the gentleman's name. We even had wine with him, and it was a fantastic evening, and heard a bit of his life story. And I have a lot of his vinyl now, and I don't even remember his name.
Maybe he's watching.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I have a feeling with his age demographic that he's probably not. But He was a little bit older than 21,
Oh yeah, and this was a few years ago.
and this was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like he might be your great grandpa's buddy or something.
Yes. Oh, yes. He's probably like at the KFC coffee row, whatever.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny how some people want to get rid of their records and then continue to tell you everything about every record that was inside there.
Mhm.
When Jeremy and I went to
It makes sense to me. But go on.
oh yeah, well, when Jeremy and I went to Regina to pick up a huge collection, the guy that was selling it to us, he was like, starting to get older, and he said, I have enough records here that if I play them all, the records will outlive me. So it's like I need to downsize, and you guys are here, just take them all. Okay. So we're talking 10,000 plus records.
Wow.
And he was so it was, I don't know, sending your kid off to college type thing. That kind of vibe I got from him. And he knew, oh, this is a good record, and he started to explain who the artist was, because I had no clue. And he's explaining that he met the guy and whatever, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's cool, but that's no value to me,
Mhm.
and then the way we were, he had plastic crates, and he was filling all
Like
the
milk
crates.
crates, like the
Well, they're a little more sophisticated than milk crates, I guess, but he he was still sorting them as we were walking him out the door, and he was marking the S, and that has to go in there, because I think, yeah, this is where the S starts. So, and we're like,
that's got to be tough, man.
and we're like, we're going through all of these record by record. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter in which order it is, but
Mhm.
we were like, okay, we're taking
Right.
a big part of his life here,
right.
so let him do his thing, and if it takes an hour longer to load, then whatever,
Mhm.
we want him to feel good about what he's.
Yeah, you don't want it
getting.
like 3/4 of the way in, and then he's like, "No, I don't think so." Unload it.
Oh, that wasn't
No
even-
deal.
No, we paid him already, so too bad, it's ours now. But but it's like, if you spent your basically his whole
Yeah.
life, he was collecting all of those records, and now in literally an afternoon he was getting rid of all of it, and all of a sudden he has a basement again. His wife was happy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how big would you say yours and your husband's collection is combined?
Well, I probably have, I don't know, maybe 24 albums. He's got, I don't even know half what he's got, because he's also got he's got the records he listens to, and then he's got this fireproof box of records that he doesn't listen to, but they're in the fireproof box because they're worth money. But I don't know, I've never even seen what's in this box. We've been married for 7-8 years. I don't know how long I've been married. Anyways, so I think he's got I don't know, 40 in the fireproof box of whatever, the Holy Grail that will never be listened to, which I still can't quite fathom, but that's okay. And then I didn't mean to turn this into a rant on my husband, but and then I don't know, in his little record corner there's probably another 100, 150. I don't know.
Right.
See, and I never understood that, because we also have a Facebook group, CanadianRecordCollectors.ca. It'll redirect to Facebook. And for some reason, people always need to tell others how many records they have. It's like, I have 10,000 records. And I'm like, okay, do you listen to all of them? Like,
How?
I
How
don't
do
know
you
what
listen to all of them?
it's weird to me. Like, why does it matter how many records someone has?
Well, that goes back to the deal that you did with that.
No, I
that
get
because
why you're asking that. In this,
that's somebody's life.
Yeah.
Right. So they're, I guess, flaunting it.
yeah.
They're bragging about it.
Why?
Because that took them a lifetime to acquire that. So to them, it's an accomplishment. And if they don't talk about it or boast about it, then Was
Yeah.
it for, not that it would be for, I don't know. I don't know why. I'm just trying to figure it out. I would be. I'm that guy who'd be like, I got 10,000 records that I don't even listen to. And 40 of them are in a fireproof box. 'Cause they're worth some money. That's totally me. I'd be that guy.
Yeah, because you keep bringing up your DVD collection.
I've got over 1,000 movies for sure. Me and Janelle combined. We've got triples, doubles. You bet. You betcha. I got movies that I bought like 5 years ago that are still wrapped in plastic. Haven't even opened and watched them yet. Because I haven't had the time. Since I had a kid, I haven't had time to watch a movie. But I still buy them.
Yeah, I have a Queen box set that's still sealed, and that's probably going to stay sealed for a long time.
How many in your private collection? How many do you have any doubles or triples in your private personal collection?
Yeah.
And what is it? What are they?
Queen, Day at the Races.
How many of those do you have?
4.
Why?
One is a Canadian pressing, one is an original UK pressing, one is a Japanese pressing, and the other one was an accident.
Right? See, and I can relate to that with movies. Like my favorite movie is The Crow. Brandon Lee, like the first one, right? The Crow. I think we had 4 copies of it, and I believe I gave one away. So I still have 3 of them. But one's a Blu-ray, one's a DVD, and then one of them is in like a box set with all 4 of the Crow movies in it.
You have VHS? And why not?
I did,
Oh,
but
okay.
back in the day I had the VHS one, but I don't anymore.
Huh.
But yeah, so like I get it because it's like a different release, I guess.
Yeah.
I actually think so. I had the Crow on VHS, and I had the second one on VHS. Like I don't even like that movie. The soundtrack's kick-ass, but the reason I had the second one is because at the end of the film, at the end of the first film, there was like Brandon Lee's last interview. Like it was like the interview he had before he died, right? When he was making the movie. And at the end of the second movie on VHS, it was the same interview, but it was like 5 minutes longer. So that was the only reason why I had that movie, is because that interview was a little bit longer. Like I'm obsessed with that movie.
Well, if
It's
you're
so
a
good.
fan, yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, so I can relate,
That's what I would do for Freddie Mercury stuff.
right? Do you have that Queen movie, Bohemian Rhapsody?
I do.
You do have it?
Mhm.
I got that one too. Did you see that movie?
Oh yeah.
That's pretty good, right? That guy did a good job.
I thought he did an uncannily good job.
Yeah. I actually saw side-by-side footage of the original Live Aid.
Like where he's in that white thing in the mouth, and he's like got his fist up in the air.
No, where he's on stage at Live Aid. That's the last show they played together. That footage of Freddie and the footage in the movie with Rami Malek is so identical. It's weird that it's not even the same person.
Oh, really?
It's I'll look that up
Yeah,
for you. It's
I'll have to check. I'll dig into that one a little bit. There's that guy on YouTube. You must know who that guy is. It sounds freaking identical to him.
yeah, Mark Martel.
Have you ever seen that guy on YouTube?
No, I haven't. Mark
Mark
Martel.
Yeah, he's from Quebec, I believe.
Singing Queen songs and just sounds very similar to Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
He made Celine Dion stand up in tears or sit down in tears, whatever. Because Celine Dion was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah,
and he was performing it right in front of her, and he was doing a Queen song, and she was like, "Am I listening to Freddie right now?" And she started crying and whatever.
Yeah, the first couple times I had listened to it too, I thought it was like dubbed in, but
Nope.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mark Martel.
We should get him on the show.
Yeah, I'm in it.
Yeah,
I'll find him.
Reach out to him. Sure. Shoot him a tweet.
Yeah, are you on Twitter?
No, I'm not. I probably should get on it though.
You should.
Just stick with Instagram.
No, Instagram is Facebook. I hate Facebook. What's this? You against Twitter all of a sudden?
I don't know. I don't have enough followers.
Okay.
I don't know. I just find it. I've been using Instagram for so long, and I've been trying to build on Twitter the last few months. And it's just everything I'm doing on Instagram, I don't want to redo it on Twitter again. I don't know. I have Twitter because of the people that I'm following on it, which is fine. But like,
But you know, when you take a picture on Instagram, you can
do it to, yeah, you can
share it to
Twitter too. But yeah, meh. I only have like 30 followers on Twitter anyway. I don't
That's
really
because
care.
you don't tweet enough.
Nah, doesn't matter. Not that I got like a big following on Instagram.
Yeah,
either or
I got
anything.
35 on
Yeah.
Instagram.
I got 40 on Instagram and I only got 30 on Twitter. I don't know. I have more fun on Instagram. I like Instagram. And I'm not posting pictures anyway. I'll do like a little 5-second video or something.
No.
I think it's fun. Yeah.
See, this is how we argue.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
You're wrong. No, I'm not. Okay.
What do you think about TikTok?
Ugh.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too.
Are you on TikTok?
No.
Good.
It's like one place that like, yeah, I don't really know.
Right.
I do think that it's cool that there's a lot of music going on there because, and I think it's weird that kids in grocery stores are all of a sudden busting out weird random moves because they learned them on TikTok. It's like, are you having a spasm there?
Yeah, I don't
Do
really.
they do that in class too?
Not so much in class, but like when we would, again before COVID, when we go on like band and choir trips and stuff, it was always like we'd be at like this Sony Music Center in Calgary, and the kids are like spending more time making TikToks in the stairwell than like looking at like the guitar collection of whoever. So, yeah.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Yeah.
Wow is right.
We're getting old.
You remember when
Yeah.
Game Boy was like a big thing? Tetris?
You know, just squeaking over to 21.
Yeah. I remember getting in trouble for playing Tetris all the time.
In school?
No, like just at home.
Oh,
I'm sure have a Game Boy in class. That'd be sweet.
trying to think.
Did you have a Game Boy?
No.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a Game Boy, but not in class.
Right.
I would have been strung up by my mother.
Right?
Which is
We're-
funny because it's like kids have like entire
Unlimited.
computers in their hands, yet alone games, and it's just like we're just supposed to put up with it, and it's like, oh, okay.
I know it's insane. The
Oh.
access to everything on the internet in the palm of your hand. It's crazy.
No, yeah, well, the most technology I had in class was my calculator that wrote SBOOB.
Yeah. 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 You bet.
Boobliss, I think, was the one.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Spin it upside down. You gotta look at it upside down.
Yeah. Yes. We were so smart.
Look how we turned out.
Yeah. We also passed notes the old school way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kids don't even know what that means anymore. They're like, what do you mean you pass notes? I'm like, we literally took a pen on a paper and wrote a note, and then we rolled it up and we gave it to someone. And they're like,
Why didn't you text them?
Yeah, why wouldn't you just snap them? Like,
Yeah.
Because thankfully I didn't grow up with the crap you guys have in front of you.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those what do you call that? A blessing, but not really.
A
Two
Blessing in
opposite.
disguise.
That's what I
No,
was thinking.
it's not in disguise. It's like,
Like a double-edged sword.
yeah, love-hate relationship type thing.
Right. I remember the big thing was trying to sneak like a disc. I'm going back to Discman again here, but trying to sneak in a Discman in class.
You have
and
to
like
sneak that
trying
in.
to listen to the song or whatever.
You had to sneak that in, really?
Oh, well, it was so well, yeah, because you can't listen to a Discman while they're in the middle of class. Why would you?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying I didn't do that. I'm just saying it was tough to do because it was pretty big and bulky.
In some cases, I had teachers that didn't care about that. They were like, "Man, if you don't want to listen, then see you in the test."
Right. Yeah, but now you can't fail people. We could get failed. When
Oh,
we
yeah.
went to, or I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
15 years ago, right?
Right.
You could get failed.
How many years ago?
I think you could get failed 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know when
Oh,
that
yeah.
rule changed. Yeah?
Yeah.
When did that change?
It's been a slow, and there's I've failed kids before, but it's like it's a hard fail, you know. Like I feel like we're pretty cushy on those that are kind of there, you know.
Right.
But it's been a slow process of, and I think it's like at the heart of it, it's got good intentions, but then when it actually comes into practice, it's like doesn't
Right.
really work.
I think the mentality of most or a lot of teenagers is like, "Well, they can't fail me anything anyway, so why would I do something?"
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I
I'm not
agree.
wrong
I
then.
think it's like
Oh,
that
yeah.
with, well, I don't want to get into that, into the COVID stuff again, right? Because kids are like, oh, well, I can't fail. So, and I don't have to go to school. But I
Well,
don't want to get into that.
I think those are special cases.
TikTok,
But even
TikTarded
but even
people.
Oh,
But
I
even-
love that one.
I don't think you're supposed to use that in
compliments.
school. So
That's
careful what you
compliments.
say.
YMH. YMH podcast, you guys. Shout out.
It's a good one.
But yeah.
What was it?
Anyways,
I was saying something.
you were. Oh, I didn't want to talk about COVID.
No, but I was talking about before the COVID.
About the COVID. About kids not being able to
Yeah.
get failed.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, they were like, can't fail, so why
Yeah.
would I do something?
Can the parents have any say in that?
Oh yeah, I think actually most of the situation is driven by parents that didn't want their kids to fail.
What?
Like I haven't had a parent that's like, please fail my kid, but I guess they don't see the numbers. They don't see that their kid was at a whatever mark, but they got the credit anyways. So yeah.
See, there's a difference between if a kid needs, I don't know, 65% and they get 63, then okay, maybe pass them. But if that kid
Mhm.
gets 25, they should probably fail and retry next year.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's how I see it. But I'm old.
I don't know. I just know, like, if my kid's not doing what he needs to be doing to pass, I don't expect him to get passed. At all.
Yeah, exactly.
Like at all. Even if he needs 65 and he gets a 64.5, sorry, bud. Do it again. That's how I feel.
I'd be okay with that. Oh, speaking of, I got a speeding ticket.
Did you?
Yeah. So
Were you going 64.5
so that's also one of those things.
and a 50 or what?
You're supposed to go 90. And if you go technically 91 and you get pulled over, too bad. You drove too fast. I see the same
Mhm.
in school. Like you didn't do enough, so you fail.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the law. The law is the law.
My speeding ticket was a little more than.
Was it?
Yeah.
I got a speeding ticket last summer and I wasn't speeding.
Oh, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Did you pay it or are you going to fight it?
No, I paid it.
Did
I
you?
got into an argument with it. Well, not even an argument with the cop,
Officer?
Yeah. So
Why
it's-
why did you argue with him if you were speeding? I gotta hear. Sorry, Kayleigh. I gotta hear this story.
It was so dumb. It was like, it's a 90 from PA, Highway 2 South, and they were parked in the Davis turnoff there. And
Yeah. Okay.
So
Kind
I,
of by the old 900 CKBI building there. That got. Yeah.
anyway, so I'm doing 105 because I had my cruise set to 105. So that's 15 over. I know that. So I got pulled over and I'm like, crap. Okay, well, give me the ticket. I know. So he comes through the door and he's like, I clocked you at 106. I was like, but I set my cruise at 105. And as I say that, I was like, oh. He turns around. You know it's 90 here, right? I was like, yeah. So 106.
Yeah. I got a speeding ticket on that road too. I think I was going 120. That was a hefty one. 300,
yeah.
300 and some bucks, I think that one was.
I did that 2014. I looked it up today. 2014, I also did just under 120. That was
Right. On that same highway?
Yeah.
Right. I got one. I'm kind of proud of this one a little bit, where I got a speeding ticket when I wasn't speeding. And, you know, I wasn't rude about it,
well,
but I was just, saying what needed to be said. Right. And he issued me the ticket and, you know, we went to court and it got dropped. So I was, that's all I'm going to say about that.
that's a very short version of that story.
I just want to say I was right.
Yeah.
I proved myself right. But it sucked to have to waste the whole day in court. Like when you know that you weren't breaking the law, like what a waste of a freaking day.
PL 540. That a Sony? No.
What's up? What do you got going on?
PL 540. So either Kayleigh is multitasking or her husband is logged in under her account.
Oh, he probably is.
Yeah. PL 540. What brand is that?
Is that the record player that you guys got from the gentleman?
I think so.
Maybe.
I'm guessing he would know more than me. So
Well, you're the one who made the comment here.
apparently, without my hands.
Very cool.
Pioneer, yes. Okay. Yeah, Pioneer makes good
So
stuff.
I think when the episode goes up on Monday, like we can I'm assuming, Mark, that we can put the link to the Kickstarter page on this post, right?
Yes, for sure. It'll go in the description.
Yeah, it'd be sweet.
Right. And then we can have like
Although I have the feeling that people don't really read YouTube descriptions, but I'm putting it there anyway. Just
So for those of you that are listening, for people who are listening to the show, check out in the description. I mean, the links to Kickstarter will be in there, the YouTube page, essentially anywheres you want them to find you at and your music. You can give it a shout out here, and the links will be on the page as well.
Yep.
There's
And
like the website's probably a good idea too, because the Kickstarter does time out or whatever on February 14th or 15th.
Yep.
So the website's just Skomorowski.com. So right now that's linking to the Kickstarter, but
and then you're on Instagram.
I am. I don't
And
even know
your
what I am
YouTube?
on Instagram. What
isn't
am
it
I
like
on
Koso something? Koso
Instagram?
something?
Skomorowski.
Kayleigh Skomorowski? That sounds about right.
Kayleigh Skomorowski. Yeah.
Did you have to
And
think
Kids
about that?
With
or-
Music on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Right on.
Yeah.
How do you I hate to ask, you can say no to this as well, but would you be okay with closing tonight's show with one more song?
Oh yeah. I've never turned that down.
Right on. Yeah, let's do that. Well, let's hear one more track and then we'll shut down the live feed. And then if you can stay on after we shut down the live feed, and then we'll say our goodbyes then. But
Sounds good.
Thanks for everyone that tuned in and
engaged in the chat. We appreciate you.
Yep. That was cool.
Like and share the subscription video.
Also get in on the giveaway. Just check out our Funky Moose Records YouTube channel. You'll find a giveaway for a turntable. We also give away in that same package a cleaning kit and $100 gift certificate with a hat and a t-shirt. And with that, Kayleigh, take it away.
Take her away.
Sounds good. This tune's called Slow Down. It's the one on the album that's a little bit quieter.
Wait, hang on. Is that because I got a speeding ticket?
No, I wish I was that clever, but I'm not. Yeah, this is the one on the album that's not like full band. It's just kind of me. And this one was definitely like written in, well, as Stay Wild was written in the shutdown, in the lockdown, and is just very much about my kids and that forced time together, but precious time together.
Just a thought in my head for what felt like forever. And then you were, and we became something else. I'm not always the person I would like to be for you. Sometimes my choices are mistakes. Sometimes I'm just a fool. Slow down. You are moving too fast. I need to catch my breath and look at you a little longer. When you hold my hand, you have my heart wrapped up in those little fingers. And I'm not sure that this world is ready for you, 'cause you will change it. You will make it something greater. But for now, just stay here in my arms. Let me be your world for a little longer. Always thought that I was broken and afraid. But in your eyes I am perfect, strong and brave. You see ordinary things for all that they could be. Don't lose that hope, keep it close, don't ever let it flee. Slow down, you are moving too fast. I need to catch my breath and look at you a little longer. When you hold my hand, you have my heart wrapped up in those little fingers. And I'm not sure that this world is ready for you, 'cause you will change it. You will make it something greater. But for now, just stay here in my arms. Let me be your